Hello, today we are going to talk about the KDE Kate text editor. Let's look at what that is. So this is the Wikipedia page, Kate text editor. I have seen Kate even in KDE version 2. It has a sibling which is KWrite, which is built as part of the Kate KDE Git repository. Is a text editor that's used as a source code editor by a lot of people that I know, and they use it for the syntax highlighting, the code folding, the support that it has for language servers. It's fast, it's C++, it loads fast, it's available in most Linux distributions that ship the KDE Plasma desktop. I started like this, so it's favorited. This is how it looks like in Kubuntu 22.10. Christoph Kuhlmann. Okay. And let's find its source code. Let's look at it. Let's navigate the source code to understand how we can program for the Kate editor. So I've recently done an investigation which started from this question, which is Mario. There are 4 sidebars in the Kate editor: top, left, right, and bottom. In the new version, the left and right hand sidebar have large icons without text. So these are probably 16 pixel, the bottom sidebar, which sidebar is called a tool view. So the bottom tool view has these tab buttons which have icon and text, and the icon is 16 pixels, while the left hand side tool view has a tab button that doesn't have text, only icon, and the icon is, I don't know, 32 pixel. Okay, and says in the previous version of Kate, all sidebars had small icons with text, so this style. So even the left hand tool view had both text and 16 pixel icons. It looked better to me. It was consistent, all sidebars looking the same. Now am I struggling to find a setting where I can change the icon size for the sidebars? Could anyone help me, please? Okay, so I undertook this investigation, and I started by looking at the settings, what's available here. The first thing to do, right click on the icon and says configure. Yeah, looks interesting, but then it takes me to the Kate settings page, which is part of this feature. So this tab of the tool view is part of the feature LSP, Language Server Protocol, as is this tab. So when I right click on this tab and I go configure, it takes me to the LSP client Kate settings. The same thing if I right click on this, it takes me to the same page, LSP client Kate settings. Okay, so I would expect if I go right click and it says text position, I can say text only or icons only, or text alongside icons. So this right-click menu is different from this right-click menu. In here there's no right-click, so on the rest of the tab title bar there's no right-click menu. On the tab button there's a right-click menu, but again it takes you, when you go configure, to the wrong place, the place where you cannot configure the size of the icons and if you want to have text besides icons or not. Okay. Make persistent is not about icons and text. Hide button is not about icons and text. The only thing that you can do that's related to icons and text is you can go top sidebar. So if you collapse it now, it becomes 16 pixel icon plus label text. If you move it to the bottom, again it's 16 pixel icon and text. If you move it to the left, it becomes 32 pixel icon without text. If you move it to the right sidebar, it becomes 36 pixel icon without text. So left and right tool views are special. They have just 32 pixel icons without text, but bottom and top ones have 16 pixel icons and text. Okay, let's move them back to the left sidebar. Okay, so from here, right-clicking on the interface, I don't see any setting where I can change the icon size from 32 to 16. Let's go somewhere else. Settings, window color scheme, edit color scheme, tools, mode, command line, spelling, no, sessions, no, LSP client, no, projects, no. Go, this is about navigating inside of a source code file. View, yes, sounds interesting. So split, move splitter, tool views show hide all. What does it do? Hide all. It collapses all of the sidebars, all of the tool views. Okay. And then there's this thing which is in fact a semi-radio button or something, not a checkbox. So they're not radio buttons because you can select to be visible one of the tabs of the bottom tool sidebar, of the left sidebar, and of the right sidebar, and of the top sidebar. So if you have tabs on all of the sides, then you can show 4 things at once. If you have tabs just on the left sidebar, then you can show just one. Show output, document, search, git. So these are for if you can hide certain tabs. So let's hide the LSP symbol outline. This thing. Okay, and now symbol remains visible. We can't hide it anymore. Okay. Large font, word wrap, borders, code folding, selection is about text in the text editor, This is also about text. This is about files and reloading. And tabs. So the only place where such a setting could be, where we can switch from 32 pixel icons to 16 pixel icons, might be in the settings. So again, let's look at the setting that has numbers to it. So hack 10, line height 1, 80%, 60 minimap. Note here, 20 max clipboard, 80 word wrap, 4 characters, 3 minimal word length. Save. Icon size for left and right sidebar buttons, 32 pixel. Okay, so now I can see the setting. The setting is here. But when I investigated, I couldn't find this setting, so I went in the source code and kept looking. So let's pretend this setting does not exist. Icon size for left and right sidebar buttons. 32. Okay, let's pretend this setting does not exist. Let's see how we can find in the source code where this thing is configured, and let's see what we can do. Cancel. Okay, let's close all of these windows, and if there wouldn't be no setting in Kate settings for this, what could we do? We could edit the source code, we could rebuild, we could edit some hidden change in the configuration file that's not exposed in the settings graphical user interface. What can we do? Okay, so what I usually do is I look at the source code by building it. So you can build Kate using kdesrc-build. I also build GammaRay. I have my Qt 5 built from source using kdesrc-build, so I can build GammaRay. So let's build this too. And then we'll need to open not the Kate that comes from Kubuntu 22.10, but the Kate that was just built using kdesrc-build. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we have built both Kate and GammaRay. Let's now start Kate, the one that we have built using kdesrc-build. So for that we go source, build, utilities, Kate, prefix, and we go Kate. Okay, so this is the way it looks like. (32 pixel icons on the left and 16 pixels on the bottom. Now let's also open GammaRay. Okay, so this is the start screen. It asks if I want to attach to an existing process. Yes. To which one? I want Kate. Attach. And now in the title bar of Kate it says injected by GammaRay. Okay. So what I want here, I want to inspect this button. Let's see how I do that. So in the left sidebar of GammaRay, I can choose actions, events, objects, problems, etc. So I'm going to use widgets. And let's make the Kate window smaller. Like this. Let's use the hand tool. Okay. Now we want to pick this icon with the folder, for instance. So we have pick element tool. I click on it, and it says that it's a K multi-tab bar tab. Okay. Where is the type? This thing. Copy. So the object is a GUI control of type Qt widgets, of type K multi-tab bar tab. So it's a tab. And let's see the size of the icons. It says icon size 32 pixel. And let's see the text. Where's the text? So I have sorted by property name, ascending. I go to text. It says it's empty. Okay. So let's inspect the same thing, but from the bottom part, which is this console icon. I select it, so I use the select tool, pick element, and then I click on it. It has a red rectangle around it, and it says that this type is K multi-tab bar tab, so the exact same type. Let's look at the icon size or the size or something. Icon size this thing. Copy. So we can see it's half, 16 by 16, not 32 by 32. And is there some text displayed here? I'm looking in the column value for a string. So most of what I see in here are integers. This looks like a enum. This is a null. This is a struct. This is a enum type, font, etc. So no string yet. 0 strings. This is the first thing, main window number 1. Boolean type. This is the next string, so Qt toolbar xbot. Style is an enum. Terminal, so this is a text. Why isn't the text visible? Now it is. So the text becomes invisible when the width of the K multi-tab bar tab is less than this width. Less than 28. Okay, so if we make it more than 28, visible region 28 by 30. I don't know why it doesn't it change automatically. So I need to reselect the control for the properties view to refresh in GammaRay. So this is the size picker, and I pick this thing. So if width is 50, then text disappears. Okay. So this is the icon size, and the text is what's in the text properties of terminal. Let's replace this thing with something else, I know. Embedded console. Okay, so we can live change the values in at least the strings. Okay, and on the left hand side there's no text. No text, no text, no text, no text, and no text, whereas all of the tab bar tabs from the bottom have text. So text output, text search, text project. Okay. Why do the bottom ones have text and the left ones not have text? There might be that the bottom one have this setting text position text alongside icons, and the left ones have the setting icons only, and the bottom ones have the setting icon size small 16, and the left hand ones have icon size large 32. Maybe there's this setting somewhere. Okay. Isn't there an enum which converts from icons only to text alongside icons? I'm looking at the column value. I don't see anything interesting in here. What about the parent? K multi-tab bar internal. Box layout. No, I don't see any enum which might be related to that. What about the parent? K multi-tab bar. Where does the K multi-tab bar start and end? Let's select the left-hand one and select the K multi-tab bar. So the K multi-tab bar internal is this part that's highlighted with blue and red. And the K multi-tab bar is this one. And Kate MDI multi-tab bar is its parent. Okay, so what is K multi-tab bar? So this seems to be a thing, a control from KDE frameworks, and K multi-tab bar tab also from KDE frameworks, whereas Kate MDI is probably from Kate. Let's find out. So K multi-tab bar tab, this thing, Alt F2, KDE. So it's available in the api.kde.org website from the KDE Frameworks 5 widgets add-ons. Inherits from K multi-tab bar button. Okay, this is the button, and then the parent is this thing. So KDE colon space and then what I search for, K multi-tab bar. From the same KDE Frameworks version 5, so K widgets add-ons. And has this thing, K multi-tab bar style and enum. Which sounds interesting, maybe this is it. So Visual Studio.net, possible various net, always show icon, only show the text of active tabs, which is not true. It doesn't show the text when I change tabs. No, so changing tabs doesn't affect text. Okay. And then there's kdev3 icon, which means kdevelop 3 like, always show the text and icons. That's true for the bottom, but not true for the left. Left only has icons always, never text. But it has a tooltip. So it does have tooltip, whereas the bottom ones do not have a tooltip. So when the text is visible, then there's no tooltip. Here there's no text, but there's tooltip. How come there's a tooltip and we didn't see it? Let's use the select tool. And what's the text, the tooltip here? Symbol outline. Kate original text, I can see it here. And also tooltip. So the ones that don't have text have tooltip. Let's see the bottom ones. The picker. bottom Kate original text project text, but there's no tooltip, so the tooltip is empty here. Okay, and the K multi-tab bar has the value for K multi-tab bar style, so tab style of type K multi-tab bar style KDEV3 icon. So the bottom ones have style, where are you? The bottom K multi-tab bar has tab style KDEV3 icon, and the left K multi-tab bar has tab style KDEV3 icon, so the same style, the same value for the enum. Okay, so that can only mean one thing, that, or this is how it appears to be, that programmatically from C++ code, it hardcodes the tooltips to the value of the string and hardcodes the name to the empty string for the left ones, and for the bottom ones it hardcodes the tooltip to the empty string and the text to the correct text. Okay, how can we let's now start opening the source code. We'll open it in the IDE, which is Qt Creator. So again, we have built KDE using kdesrc-Kate from source, so we can debug it. File, open file or project. Let's take it from the correct place. So src utilities Kate. Control V. CMake lists. Projects, import existing build, Control V, build. Manage kits, remove, apply, okay. What is this? So I only keep the desktop default, Qt Creator kit, and then I import the existing build, which is the same directory as the full path of the directory where the source code resides, or where the Git repository was cloned for Kate, but with a build instead of a source. This thing. Let's look at the kit. So there should be just a desktop default and whatever we have added right now when we did import existing build. Okay. So it has run CMake configure successfully in the correct directory with the correct settings. And now we can run build. So build project Kate, Control B. It's going to take a while. No, not really. And now at run, we select the correct CMake target. So we could use kwrite, which is the other executable that's built from the same Git repository as Kate. So there's Kate bin, this builds Kate, and kwrite, this builds the other binary which executable, which is called kwrite. So let's select Kate bin. And what should we search for in the source code? What? Let's search for this string, the tooltip of this button. So the tooltip, sort by property in GammaRay. Tooltip, letter T. This thing, symbol outline. Copy. This thing, symbol outline, Control C. Control Shift F, Control V. Symbol outline. So this is the implementation of the plugin. We don't want to go there. What can we search to get at a method that sets the tooltip to be the empty string or the tooltip to be the correct string? Let's search for K multi-tab bar tab. This thing. Control Shift F, Control V. So Kate mdi.cpp, which is this parent and this parent. There's a K multi-tab bar tab clicked event. We want to be there. And there's update button style. We see this interesting thing, Kate original text. And then we see that the tooltip is set correctly and the tooltip is set to an empty string. The text is set to the correct string and the text is set to an empty Q string. The text is set to what is this? Icon size. PM button icon size. What is that? And then I can see left, right, sidebar, icon size. Extremely interesting, this one. Okay, let's put a breakpoint in here. And this tab clicked. Let's start the debugger. So we ran configure cmake. We ran build, and now we can start debugging of startup project. So again, the startup project is set in here in the tab run as Kate bin. We can see it in here in the Git selector. What's the name of this thing? So it says project Kate, the correct Kit, not the system, but the one from kdesrc-build. Kate bin, the executable to run, and debug to. So we can press the debug button. Let's close GammaRay. Should be enough for now. Okay. F5. So in here we connect the slot from the tab to the event tab clicked, which is who? This guy? Okay, F5. So it says update button style for the button, for one of the buttons. Okay, the button, where is the button? Has a property which is called Kate original text. Where is that thing? Properties. Kate original text. So there's a map, or what is this, with properties. And there's a Q variant of type QString which contains the string output. So that's for the for the first tab in the tool view bottom. Bottom sidebar, the first tool view, the first tab, which is output. So has icon, doesn't have tooltip, has text. Okay. So we get the QString output from that property. And show text for left to right. So there's a member variable of type boolean, which says if we should have text for left to right, and if the position is left or right. Okay, so we can immediately see that there's this possibility. If you set show text for left or right, then this branch, the then branch, will not be executed. So all what's the name of them? All sidebars, so top, bottom, left, right, will have the exact same settings. So 16 by 16, the original text, and no tooltip. So if we set this boolean to true, to show text, then this part, which is wrong, which is what the person that asked the question does not want. So the person does not want the then branch, he wants only the else branch. Okay, so one way to do it is you set this member variable for this object to always show text for left and right. Text is always shown for bottom and top. Okay. The other possibility is to go left, right, sidebar icon size, which is also a member, which you can set to 16. So it's probably set to 32. Yeah, it's 32. So we can set it to 16. So icon size is 16. Okay. So now we know that we have two booleans that can trigger what we want. So we can either do make this 16 or make this be true. Okay, now let's see where do these two member variables come from. So left, right sidebar icon size. Let's so it's in the, what's the name of this class? The class sidebar from Kate MDI. It's a member variable private with a default value 32. So it's a field in the object. Control Shift F. Search appears in 3 places. So one, where are you? In the H file where it's defined and has the default value of 32. In here where we read from it to set the icon size for the tab, and the other place where it's configured. So it reads this configuration with fallback value of 32 if whatever is already stored in the member is different from what's in the settings from this size. Then what's in the settings has higher priority, so is set, we assign the value of what's in the settings in the member variable. So let's copy this thing. And let's see what's for the other one. Show text for left, right. Control C, Control Shift F, Control V. Okay, the exact same thing. So in the same, where are you? Class which is called sidebar, private, field, type boolean with a default value of false. So by default it doesn't show text for left and right sidebars. Okay. And the search results 3 times in katemdi.cpp. So once where it's red, so it's used to determine if the then branch should be run, should be executed, and then it's set in here. Okay. But then we don't know what this CG general thing is. Let's put a breakpoint in here. So both settings are next to each other. One breakpoint is enough. Let's stop the debugger. Let's start the debugger. Okay, so it says that from here I guess that this is the default value. And so this is the default value false. And I guess this is the name of the setting. Hopefully this does not get translated into German or something, so because it contains spaces, which is strange. Settings should not contain space in the key name. So a setting in the sense of a pair of key name value. So key names should not contain spaces, in my experience. Okay, CG general. Okay, config group general. So probably reads from somewhere, from a text file, from where else. But from which text file? I don't know. So let's navigate this thing. Put a breakpoint. Put a breakpoint. Put a breakpoint. but all of these breakpoints are inside of the H file, and the actual reading is probably in the kconfig group.cpp file. And the H files are taken from tilde/kd/usr/include, whereas the cpp file is from tilde/kd/src/ qt5, etc. No, from tilde/kd/src/framework/kconfig core. Okay, cg general, let's inspect this thing. Kconfig base vptr, the private part d pointer, name general. Interesting, there's a name general. Parent or owner and nothing more. And here it is, file name KateRC. Copy. This thing. Okay, so there's a file called KateRC. Where is that thing? Control S. Control V. I don't know the exact name. Maybe it has some extras. Stop. Stop, where are you? Just KateRC. Okay, so this thing in tilde/.config/KateRC. Go there. How can we open it without Kate? Let's open it in something else. Visual Studio Code, okay. Okay, so it says the file is KateRC. Could be this file. And then it says something about general. It says in here mname general. So it might be this section. This is an ini file, with sections and pairs of key equals value. Okay, so I can already see a key which contains a ton of spaces, and another one, and another one. And not all of the words start with uppercase. Mixed casing. Okay. So then I guess that, let's stop the debugger. What it really tries to say is inside of CG general, which is the file KateRC. Okay. Inside of the thing which is called general, which is probably the section. Group. It's called a group. Okay. So this group general. we have icon size for left and right sidebar buttons, which we can make 16. Let's do that. Save. 16, Control S. Let's start Kate again from this special console tab where the environment variables are set correctly. So again, in here I have run source ~kde/build/utility/kate/prefix.sh, which has edited the path environment variable. And has put at the start of the path environment variable tilde/kd/usr/bin. Okay, so that's why we can run the correct Kate. And now the left-hand sidebar, what's the correct name for these? The left sidebars icons are 16-bit, are 16 pixel by 16 pixel, not 32. But still, it has a tooltip instead of text. If we want text, then we need to change the other value, which is this guy. Where are you? We can see that this config file has been read by Kate and rewritten totally. So I have put this line after show URL navbar, so at the end of the general section. It has deleted the entire file and it has put the settings in the correct way, which it's probably ascending alphabetically. So D-I-S, yes, and then A-H. A-B-E-I. Seems like it. Okay, so we'll need this other thing, which is show text for left and right sidebar. We need to make it true because it defaults to false. Does it have a reload button? Control V, let's make this true. How do we set true? Just like lowercase true. And let's delete this line, Control S. Let's open Kate again. So now it has icon 16 by 16 and text and no tooltip. Similar to what happens in the bottom sidebar. Okay. And as happens, we already saw the settings in the Kate GUI settings. So how did I do that? This thing. So it says settings, configure Kate, behavior, and sidebars group box. Says show text for left and right sidebar buttons true, which is this boolean, and the default, which is 32 for left and right hand sidebar buttons. So again, this is the way to set the boolean by clicking on this checkbox, and then the size of the icons is available in here. It doesn't want 64. What about 48? Yeah. And it refreshes the UI after you save the settings. Okay, so this way it's 48 and tooltip and no text. This way is save is 16 by 16 plus text. Okay. Okay. So let's look a bit at the source code. So the source code, when I build with kdesrc-build, I use the layout invent, so that means ~kd build and then utilities and then Kate is the directory where the build artifacts, CMake, temporary files, etc. are generated. The source code is in ~kd/src utilities and then Kate. You can open this thing with the Visual Studio Code, which is the tool that I use for grepping. So if you want to search for MDI, what was that thing? Kate MDI. Okay, so I can search. And I use Qt Creator as the IDE, so for editing UI, graphical user interface, with built-in Qt Designer, which is this thing. For correct CMake configure, build, make install, whatever. Running, debugging, correct go to definition. So it can navigate to H files, it cannot navigate to the CPP files. In order to look at what's inside of the CPP files that are outside of Kate, so the CPP files from the Qt project or from the KDE frameworks, I need to be inside of the debugger and put the correct breakpoints inside the correct CPP files. Or go F11, which means step into. The H files all live in ~kd/usr/include, so that those I can navigate outside of the debugger when the debugger is not running. Okay, this is the left bar of the left sidebar of Qt Creator. It knows how to select, how to show the file system. So similar to what's in here in Visual Studio Code. Enable all features. No folder opened. Okay, why not? Okay, so similar to this, a file system view. And then we have projects, which is a CMake view. So it shows the CMake list.txt, which has CMake modules, which has CMake targets, such as apps, and we have two, Kate and kwrite. So I can I can look at what's the entry point to kwrite. So it's source files main.cpp, which is inside of the directory kate/apps/kwrite main.cpp. I can put a breakpoint right at the start of main, and then I can debug this thing. So I go projects, build and run, Qt5, run, and in here, instead of Kate bin, I select kwrite. So another entry point, another executable, another entry point for the debugger, kwrite, not Kate bin. And since I have already run cmake configure and build, I can just start debugging of startup project. Application started. It's going to load the SO files. And it has stopped at breakpoint 8 in thread 1 on line 26 of the entry point main.cpp file for kwrite. I can go debug, so step over, step into, step out, F5 until the next breakpoint, F10, F11 steps into, F10 steps over. So step over F10. Set attribute. Let's see the source code of this CPP file for set attribute of QCore application F11. So now we're inside of a CPP file from outside of the Kate project. So again, in order to get to the CPP files outside of the Kate project, you will need to run it in the debugger and F11 to it. Okay. It has exited, so we're back in kwrite main.cpp, main up, etc. Most KDE applications start like this with, so I have too many breakpoints. Let me delete those. Start with a Q application, a K localized string set application domain, a K about data, which both populates the help about data, and two command line parameters. When you run kwrite from the command line, you can see, where are you? You can see author, which is based on data from K about data, and there's also version. License. And the general command line parser that parses the command line of kwrite is K about data, Q application, and Q command line parser. Okay. This is the main object, and then it goes it. It uses more or less the same objects as Kate. The source code of that's completely special to kwrite is really minimal. Let's look at it. So apps kwrite, it's just icons, a resource file, a upstream file, a desktop icon, a cmake lists.txt file, which bundles all of this together. A executable, add executable listing. So the name of the executable is kwrite, contains just two translation units, main.cpp and data/kwrite.qrc. Okay, and then the main.cpp file, which is really small. how many lines? 200 lines with plenty of comments and doc strings. Okay. Then let's let the debugger do its thing. So stop the debugger and start the debugger. No breakpoints. So it started kwrite. Why? Kwrite, yes, correct. Kwrite. Okay, so about data is used in here for authors thanks to not components. About license, copyright message. Okay, and the search has the settings has a search, which probably we could have used from the beginning. So let's do that. Settings, configure Kate, and in here we need to search left. And it's here. Selected both of the settings. Selected correctly. Highlighted in blue. Okay, so that's about it. This is the Qt Creator ID. We can see all of the CMake targets. We can navigate in them. We can look at the UI files and edit those. We can look at the resources. We can debug the application really well. Because I have built Qt 5 from source using kdesrc-build, I can enter inside of the CPP files from the Qt project. I have built all of the KDE frameworks version 5, so I can do the same thing. This is the search, the list of open documents. So Qt Creator doesn't have a tab bar, a classic tab bar. It has this combo box and this open documents view. So that's about all that I know about Kate. There's add-ons. Most of the functionality is grouped in add-ons because kwrite uses just a subset of add-ons from. So Kate uses more add-ons than kwrite. That's the difference between the two executables. Because again, kwrite.cpp, the only source code file of kwrite is just 200 lines, where most of those are comments and curly brackets and stuff like that. So there's like 60 lines of source code in total, which just say that kwrite is Kate, but with less plugins. You can say much more in 60 lines of source code. File 3 GDB plugin, git blame. So these plugins are in here. Where are you? Settings, Kit. Plugins, this thing. So GDB, if you want to use the debugger, these are the default selected ones. LSP, project, search and replace, terminal, document review. There's a build plugin. So that was about all that I know about Kate. Thank you.